Welcome to ScrivTalk, everyone. My name is Leanna George. I'm an author and the co-owner of Scrivenings Press. I'll be your host for these next few minutes as we meet some Scrivenings Press authors and discuss their stories, their new and upcoming stories, and help you learn the story behind the story. Now, that's a lot of story for an author to use that same word in multiple times in one sentence, but that's okay because, we're just having fun here at Script Talk. So I'm excited to welcome back Susan Page Davis. We've had her on several times before with her son as they talked about their series, the Hearts Oaks of Heart series, where they had the Scottish Lass and the Seafaring Women of the Vera B. But today, Susan is back with her daughter, which makes this very interesting and very fun. And it's a completely different genre.
Yeah.
So we're very excited to have Susan and her daughter Paige back with us to discuss their upcoming book, Dumpsters and Dragons, Book Two in their Diva series. I'm a little tongue-tied. I haven't done this in a while. So anyway, but yeah, so we're just going to sit back, have a few questions, and learn more about their writing process, their book, without any spoilers, or hopefully references to book three, which they are currently writing, not to confuse you guys. And let's just see how all this goes. So, what, ladies, welcome to Script Talk.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about your Dumpster Diva series. Um, what inspired you guys to start the writing with each other in this series? Like, I know you have the series with Jim, Susan. So
Yeah.
how did you decide you were going to write with Paige, and or did you start with Jim first or Paige
No,
first?
actually, I started with Paige's older sister first. My other daughter, Megan, and I had done a three-book series for Barbara's Heart Song Presents Mysteries line, which was very short-lived.
Mm.
And so Paige and I thought, well, we could do a series for them. But then the line folded and we just kind of put it away. But we had outlined three books. So several years later, the opportunity arose and I said, hey, let's write those books that we planned. And so that's what we're doing now with Scrivenings Press.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, Paige, do you write by yourself or only with your mom?
I do, but I haven't got any books out on my own.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so I have won a story contest one time, and mom was always putting me in essay contests when I was a kid. So there's
Yeah.
that. And I posted some things on the rather short-lived Kindle Vella platform that is no more.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's okay. Your time's coming. Your time's coming. No worries about that. Well, let's talk a little bit about Dumpster Diva because it's a unique story idea or series concept, I should say. And tell me a little bit about what inspired this. You've obviously had it in the pipeline for several years. And so, how did you come up with the idea? And um, how did you know that writing it together was what you were supposed to do?
To be honest, I don't remember how we got the idea, do you?
Uh, you had the idea yourself first, and we kind of fleshed it out together.
Yeah.
I know this particular book, we didn't originally intend to take it the direction we did. So, uh,
Yeah.
so that was an interesting process.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about Dumpsters and Dragons because, first of all, it's such a unique title. It's very fun. So, what was the inspiration for the title and the story, this particular book?
I think
Um,
Paige came up with the title.
I did because of the popular role playing game Dungeons and Dragons.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought it
So
might
it's
have
a
been.
play on
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Originally, my thought had been to have it the the mysterious package that Cassie pulls out of the dumpster, have it have something to do with spies. And
Okay.
so I was calling it I Spy Trash. And Paige is like, no, no, no. That's, people would read that. So it's a cozy mystery, not a spy thriller. So yeah, we changed the theme a little bit and the title.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I
And of
We
like
even
course,
using
thought
my
about
dumpsters,
trash. That's cute.
Yeah, we even thought
dumpsters is
about
a big,
having it be corporate espionage for a while there, but that
yeah.
also went
Yeah.
by the
Mhm.
wayside.
But the
Yeah.
Dumpsters and Dragons, of course, is a play on Dungeons and Dragons. But
Okay.
yeah, Cassie, our heroine, she's not really into gaming, but she is into dumpsters. So it
Literally.
seemed like a good name.
Okay. So two questions off of those statements. One, um, Paige, do you play what is it? Dragons?
Dungeons and
Dungeons and
Dragons.
Dragons. Thank you. I was going Demons and
I
Dragons.
I have some friends who do regularly, and I've sat in on a couple of sessions.
Okay.
So, and there's also other types of role-playing games that are similar that I have played
Yeah.
with friends.
Oh, okay. That's really cool. That's really cool. The only thing I know about Dumpsters and Dragons is from watching Stranger Things. So,
Oh,
Oh,
Dungeons
okay.
and
Well, see, I've
Dragons, yeah.
never seen that, but there are a
I
lot of
haven't either.
yeah, it's that was the big thing is that they were in
Mhm.
Dungeon and Dragons Club. So that's how I
yeah,
knew.
it's like the title everybody will recognize.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. So you talked about Cassie a little bit, Susan. Why don't you kind of introduce her to readers who may not be familiar with her?
Well, she's in her early 20s and she took the job driving a garbage truck. Um, a lot of kids are kids. I mean, I'm old, but a lot of people that age right now are in that situation where they really need a job, especially a good paying job. And she found this job driving a garbage truck and she kind of likes it. And she's held it for a year or so, maybe in this book. And um, she's she's smart and she's uh, a Christian and that her faith is important to her.
Mhm.
I don't know what else, Paige. What else should we say about Cassie?
She's very inquisitive.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yeah, that
That's
might
what
be.
tends to get her in trouble.
I was just about to say.
yeah.
I was going to
Some
say, I bet
people
you
would
that's
like
what.
her to stop looking into these crimes, but they keep coming her way, so she keeps inquiring.
Well, I'm sure there's tons of interesting stuff in the trash that people throw away
Yeah.
that, an inquisitive person would definitely be interested in. So let's talk about the whole trash dumpster job. Why that job? Why that setup?
I think
It,
that's as far as she goes, that's the job that came up and she was able to get. As far as we go, it just seemed like a quirky kind of offbeat job for a girl, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah,
and going through the trash is something police do when they're investigating
Yeah,
someone.
sure.
yeah. That's true. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I just can't think of any other. I mean, I read a lot of books, and I just
Mhm.
honestly can't ever remember where reading a book where the main character was um, you know, drive to,
A trash collector.
yeah, she was
Yeah.
a trash collector, drove a dumpster truck. So I found it
When I,
fascinating, honestly. I found it very interesting. And I
yeah,
think it is the perfect setup for a cozy mystery because, right, like you said,
right,
police go through the trash. There's no telling what you would find if you were to go
right.
through a dumpster site. So it is the perfect setup. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I mean, when I started writing cozy mysteries, I got told over and over by editors, we don't want to see another teacher or another nurse, give us something
Mhm.
different. So she's got a different kind of job.
I like it. I like it. I think it's great. Absolutely. Okay, before we get into the basics of, um, sorry, before we get into the basics of the book, right? And we start kind of dissecting it a little bit. I'm going to talk about the process of writing with a mother-daughter team. And we talked about this with Jim, Susan, what's that
Yeah.
process like? So what was the co-authoring process like for the two of you? How did y'all
It's
handle that?
pretty much the same as Jim and I do, but I'll let Paige comment, but we kind of send it back and forth, and one of us will write a chapter or a scene or whatever we're able to do at that time.
Mhm.
And then we'll send it back and let the other one critique it and suggest changes, and then that person will go on and do the next section. So it's worked pretty well for us.
I remember in book one, I let mom write the first chapter because she
Mm,
had all the experience.
Mhm.
And then for book two, I said, I want to try writing the first chapter this
yeah.
time. So it's
Awesome.
a little
So,
difference.
so is it is it how is it trying when you write? This is what always intrigues me with collaborations, especially in fiction. And you have the same person, one main character, but two different people writing her. How were y'all able to keep the same voice for Cassie, even though it's coming from two different people?
That's a good
That's
question.
tricky. One of my sisters told me she could tell what I wrote and what Paige wrote. So
Okay.
I don't know if she just sounds younger than me or what, or maybe she's got the slang
We
or
probably do have a
whatever. I
slightly
don't know,
different
but
voice,
do
but
what?
I was raised by this woman, so we're bound to have some of the same
Yeah.
similar writing voice,
Yeah.
Uh, And
Okay.
we haven't really said what state this series is set in, but
which
um,
is on purpose.
we're pretty sure it's in New England, and that's where we're from originally. And they do say some New England things, but I don't know. It's I think we do okay, kind of evening it out.
Yeah. So, Paige, from a daughter standpoint,
Hmm.
what is it like writing with your mom?
It's kind of like anything that my mom taught me because I was homeschooled, and so
Oh, okay.
she was my English teacher to begin with, and she's also the one who's been publishing things regularly. So if she tells me, "Oh no, that's not the style anymore," then I usually trust her on that, and I'll say, "Okay, we have to make our ellipses this way. We don't use that anymore to clarify sentences. You take the word that out as much as you can and things like that."
Yeah,
So,
there have been a lot of style changes since I started publishing, and I may have taught her that you always have to put a comma before TOO, but you
Yeah.
don't anymore.
right.
Yeah,
No, you
things
don't
like that that I've learned because of my constant contact with publishers and editors, and they tell me, we're not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I picked up a lot of things along the way that just weren't so 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm. You
Yeah.
used to always put a comma before a conjunction, and now you don't.
Yeah. Things change
So,
all the time,
Uh-huh.
right? All the
yeah.
time. So, did you ever have to defer to your mom as the maternal authority figure, or were y'all
That
seen as mother-daughter or more as co-writers?
I think more as co-writers. Like I said, since she's more experienced, I would often defer to her.
Hmm.
And if we had a strong disagreement on something, rather than going with my idea or her idea, we'd usually try to find a compromise in the middle.
Okay.
Sometimes, like, Paige knows a lot more about, for instance, online gaming than I do. She's not really big into it, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So when we were writing, there's a section about a gaming cafe where people go and drink coffee and play video games in the
Hmm.
cafe.
Right, computer
And
game.
so when I wrote something about that, I sent it to her and I said, hey, listen, you need to clean this up because I probably use the wrong terms for things and everything.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how we do it. And I don't know if one of us suggests something and we'll mull it over and say, yeah, that might work. Or, yeah, I don't think that will work. I mean, we just talk things out and listen
Yeah.
to each other.
Yeah. Do y'all ever have to have Jim come in and be a deal breaker?
No,
No.
he doesn't have anything to do with the dumpster books. I wouldn't ask
Except maybe
Paige
a little
to,
proofreading.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
yeah.
I love that this is such a family um, project, right? You have your
Mhm.
son, you have your daughters, and that it has just become a family affair, I guess you could say. And I love that. I think that's such a blessing, but also such a great legacy. And so
Mhm.
I think that's awesome for you guys, and I'm very happy for you.
Well, my husband is also, well, he's retired, but he was a news editor for many years. So he actually reads all of our books, whether
Okay.
Pages of mine or my son Jim's or just my solo books.
Hmm.
He always reads them before I hand them in because
Yeah.
he's good at spotting. little things,
Yeah.
missing quotation mark or whatever.
Yeah. So you truly are a family of writers and
Yeah.
editors. That's awesome. Well, let's talk about Dumpsters and Dragons a little bit because the story includes mystery and danger, coding or ciphers, gaming, and all set in a small town, which you said is purposefully not mentioned, just kind of New Englandish. So how did you pull all of those elements together?
I think mom is good at the small town atmosphere sort of things, and for some of the gaming elements, she had to trust me a bit.
Yeah.
Uh, and but mom is also good at coding things. She has written a book that revolved around codes before,
Mm.
so um, so I don't know, we managed to tie it together.
Yeah. As far as it's a little bit easier when it's in a part of a series because we already have the characters from book one
Mhm.
True.
and the situation, the job, the town, all of that. We've already established that in the first book, which was down in the dumpster.
Mhm.
And we take those same people and just kind of move on with them to the next phase. And in this one, we bring in more of Adam's family
Mhm.
and we bring back some very beloved characters from the first book, which is the senior citizen residents at Silver Non complex and also Cassie's roommate,
Mhm.
Jenna. And we just kind of pull them all together and think, what's going to happen to these people next?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's awesome. I love that. Um, and speaking about the gaming world, right? Cassie isn't really much of a gamer, but she ends up in the middle of a game related mystery. So, what was fun about putting her in that unfamiliar world?
Well, it's unfamiliar for me. I'll let Paige speak to that.
I think what was fun about it was that most of the readers will probably be in a similar boat
Hmm.
because they probably won't pick up this book because they're a fan of gaming. They'll pick it up because either they read the first one or they're just interested in cozy mystery in general.
Yeah.
So we had Cassie be a little bit clueless, in that way other people could introduce her to certain elements that would help her understand what was going on, and that would help the reader too.
Oh, I love that. I love how you really thought that through, right? You were
Yeah.
thinking not just about the character, but the reader, which is, so important. I
And
love
we
that.
have people telling Cassie throughout the story, don't get involved in this, don't do that, whatever. Even the police officers are trying to protect her from getting in too deep, and yet they want her to help them find the people behind this. So
Yeah.
it's exciting, but it's not so deep into the gaming aspect that people are going to be totally lost.
Yeah. That's good. That's really good. Well, you mentioned Adam a minute ago, so let's kind of I want to go back to him because he's very protective of Cassie, but sometimes he kind of complicates things for her. So,
Yeah.
what did you enjoy about writing their relationship?
Well, we've had the editors tell us that Adam is too bossy to
Oh,
her, and he's trying to have too much control kind of thing. But it's just, um, I I like him. He's a good guy. He's just, he's concerned about her welfare and doesn't want her to
Mhm.
get into something she can't get out of. So he ends
sure.
up getting into it with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting to write them over the course of 3 books, it's
Mhm.
fun to build the trust between the pair of them.
Yeah.
So Adam is still very concerned, but he's learned to trust Cassie's instincts a little bit more.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you always want to see, especially in we know as writers, our characters have to have an arc, right? In the story, they've got to
Mhm.
change from the beginning
Yeah.
to the end, but you also have to have that arc for the series too, right?
Yeah.
You can't you have to make them different as well. And so I think that's really important, and I think that y'all are doing a good job with that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
when we start out in book one, they've never seen each other face to face. They've talked on the radio while she's on the job, but they don't really know each other. So I won't give spoilers there. But
Yeah.
if you can start with down in the dumpster, start there, and He'll get to know Cassie and Adam.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you, since you brought that up, because I was going to ask you that a little bit later. Do people need to read book one in order to start book two?
I wouldn't say they need
No,
to, but I think it'll be a lot more fun if they do.
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, because we do refer a little bit to things that happened in
Yeah.
book one, but they won't be too lost if they
Okay.
haven't read it.
Well, and without giving away, everything that happened in book one and the solution to the big mystery they're trying to solve. So, mm,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to talk a little bit more about Adam because we meet Josh, who plays an important role in the story. So, what can you tell us about Josh's character without giving too much away?
Josh is Adam's well, not stepbrother, stepbrother?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, his stepbrother. Sorry. Um, his mother was widowed and she married Steven Tyler, and he has two kids, Josh and a younger girl named Maddie. And
Sean. Sean is the stepfather's name.
I'm sorry, what?
Sean Tyler.
Oh,
You said
I said
Stephen.
Steven. I'm sorry. Steven Tyler, that's some famous person, right?
He's a,
Okay.
yeah.
Anyway, Josh in this book is in college. Maddie is younger. She's like 14 in this book, I think. And it's interesting because we hadn't really gotten to know much about Adam's family before. We knew he had a stepfather, and his stepfather wouldn't let him have a dog and things like that.
Yeah.
But we really didn't see the family in book one. We saw Cassie's mom, but we never saw Adam's.
Mhm.
So that was interesting to us to bring the Tyler family into it.
Okay.
You want to talk about Josh?
Uh, Josh is kind of a naive young guy. He's smart, but he doesn't apply himself, as they say,
Yeah.
and and he's a bit naive about people that he meets online, and that of course becomes an important part of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm sure readers will enjoy reading about him and getting him to know him as well. So now let's talk a little bit about some of the lighter moments because even though this story is, a suspense, cozy mystery and has some suspense elements in it, you really do a good job of lightening up the storyline with the senior citizens. So,
Yeah.
how did you come up with the idea of the senior citizens and how do you balance that humor while you're trying to solve a mystery and it's not
They
being
were
given
really
murder?
important in the first book.
Hmm.
The whole mystery kind of revolved around their senior complex.
Okay.
And people loved them, and we loved them. So we just couldn't let them go. We had to bring them back in this
Mhm.
book. And this isn't a spoiler. I'll just let you know we're bringing them back in book three as well.
Oh, fun. Yeah, when you have that kind of cast, people love
Yeah.
to see them time and time again. So,
Mhm.
yay.
Yeah. Um, in book one, I won't say specifically, but there is a moment where there's a little misunderstanding between Cassie and one of the elderly ladies, and she thinks Cassie knows something and
Oh.
lets something slip. And there's another little misunderstanding in book two that leads to a very funny situation, I think, that really lightens things up, but also causes trouble for Cassie.
Yeah, and the seniors love Cassie, and they are trying to get into her business more than they should. And
Mhm.
sometimes, it's hard for Cassie to keep them out of it. Just like Adam's trying to keep her out of getting
Yeah,
in trouble. She's trying to keep them from getting in trouble.
right. So if you could um, you know, sum up the senior citizens, what kind of adjectives would you use to kind of
Hmm.
sum them up and their um, play in the story?
Hmm. I don't know. Would you say that
Endearing really
foils?
comes to mind.
What'd you say? What?
What?
I said endearing comes to mind.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
they are that. I think they do. They're kind of foils in some cases, comic foils for
Hmm.
the other characters. But in book one, there's some serious stuff with them too. But
Yeah.
But they're endearing. They're the kind of people I would like to go over and play a game of rook with them some evening,
That's awesome. Did you find it difficult to balance that mystery suspense with the humor? I mean, or did you feel like the story needed that light touch so that it wasn't so heavy for the reader?
I think every story needs some lighter
Yeah.
moments.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know.
Especially where it's a cozy mystery. We didn't want it to be too grim
Yeah.
and gritty.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really difficult. I think we both had a pretty good sense of when we needed to put in another amusing or
Hmm.
fluffy moment,
Yeah.
for lack of
Yeah.
a better term.
Yeah. Well, being senior citizens, they're not gonna, you're not gonna kill, we have to kill some characters sometimes. We're not letting any of these senior citizens go, are we?
Well,
I
that would
don't
be
think.
telling.
Right. Oh,
I
okay.
thought I'd
Yeah.
try. I thought I'd try. Because when they become enduring, it becomes heartbreaking. I just read a book and I was like, no, 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 you can't do that to
Mm,
that person.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I'd give it a shot. I just thought I'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, let's talk about the research because you've talked a lot about the fact that you're both not gamers, yet that's kind of the role of the book, right? And
Hmm.
so, what research did you need to do, whether it was for gaming or police procedure or trash removal or just anything else? What kind of research did y'all have to do?
So Mom already knew quite a bit about police procedure
Hmm.
because she'd gone to classes. Um,
Yeah, I took a Citizens Police Academy,
Oh,
and I also have a person I know fairly well who is a retired police officer
mhm.
and lets me bounce questions off them, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's
But
great.
Paige has
and
her areas of expertise.
and I knew more about the gaming stuff, but I like to research just about anything, and that's why you have to be careful of writers because they know a little bit about everything.
Yes.
Um,
Uh-huh.
for instance, I found a video on YouTube about maybe 5 minutes long about a recycling plant and how it works because
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was
was working
very
at a
helpful.
recycling plant.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just get a little more background on this because I've taken things to the recycling before, but I haven't really looked at how it works and
Yeah.
where they have entrances and when they open and things like that. So, and
And
it
she
was strangely interesting.
I
and
bet. I
she
bet.
is a kennel tech. She works with dogs every day. So, Adam goes and volunteers at the animal shelter. And I always, make sure Paige is there to make sure I don't mess up those scenes and say the wrong thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I bet you had a lot of interesting stuff with the gaming, um, with the trash recycling. I mean, it's all just stuff that we know about, but we don't really know about. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. And
to
we
be able
want
to
to get
really
it
bring
right.
that to life. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So I can see why that would be very important to your storytelling. So, okay, so was there a scene in Dumpsters and Dragons that was especially fun or especially challenging that y'all had to write?
I think the bead shop. What do you think?
The bead shop was a good one. That was very
Yeah,
fun.
Nita's bead shop. I really can't say too much, but one of the senior citizens has a bead shop and wants to help Cassie with her mystery. So
Oh, okay.
exciting
I
things take place there.
I also really enjoyed the dramatic showdown scene, which again I won't
Yes,
give
Yes.
away
yeah,
too much, but
yeah,
I had the villain kind of run away with me because we had outlined the chapter a certain way, and once I got writing it,
yeah.
the criminal
I
mastermind took over and decided he was going to do something, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I hope Mom's okay with this, and
I think
I was
you're
actually
referring.
nervous sending her that
Oh,
chapter. I was like,
really?
if
Okay.
you hate
I
this, we can
I think
change it, but
you're referring to the one with Cassie and Josh are prominent, and then Adam.
mhm,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. That
yeah.
was a good scene.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right. I love how y'all are just teasing our audience today. It's awesome.
Well,
No, I think
can't
it's
give it
great.
all away,
Yeah, that no, we
but
cannot give it away. I love it
the
though.
book is on pre-order, right? I think
Yes. Hmm.
it's going to release in just a couple of days here or something. And yeah, I hope people we'll run right out and get the
No.
ebook is available. The print book will be a couple more days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, when all is said and done, what is it you hope readers take away from this story?
Uh, I think
Yeah. Go ahead.
one practical thing they can take away from it is be careful who you trust online.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
much so.
that's
Yeah.
You
true. I
can
mean,
see
we
their
live in
face.
a day and age where it's so
Yeah.
easy,
Mhm.
You don't know who you're really talking to,
That's
and
right.
sometimes what you're really talking about.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
a big part for me was the family interactions and Adam's mother and stepfather, they were quite harsh with Joss. They were very disappointed in him,
Mm.
and Adam was trying to be the peacemaker. And I think there's a little bit of a lesson there about family relationships and how not to just really come down on each other
Oh, that's
that
good.
hard.
Yeah.
And also a reliance on God to
Yeah,
fight for you, basically. I can't remember the exact verse we put at the beginning of this one, but it's about God's protection, basically.
yeah,
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. We always need that reminder, don't we? We know it, but we don't know it. And so it's always
yeah.
good to be reminded, especially when you can connect it to a story, right? And so
Yeah.
that's really good. So, okay, well, what's next for you guys? And what's next for Cassie, if you can give us any insights to that?
I'm in the well, we're in the middle. We're more than the middle. We're well along on the third book, which
Uh-huh.
is going to be called At Your Disposal.
Oh,
And
I love that.
we're not quite finished with it, but we're in the revision process. I'll put it
Mhm.
that way.
Yeah.
And so that will come out next year.
Okay.
And after that, I don't know. What do you got
Yeah, I'm
planned?
not sure after that either. One of my problems is having too many ideas and not enough time to work on them.
Absolutely. Yes, I understand that.
Um, and as we were going along, I was like, I think Cassie might want to keep on investigating things. And Mom was like, No, the series is done. The series is done. And I said, Okay, but can we maybe leave a hint that that I could come back to this character maybe later on,
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah.
So so
Yeah, we're going to leave it open that Cassie and Adam could have more adventures in the future, but we haven't made definite plans for that.
mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think everybody will be hopeful that there'll be more to come. That's
Yeah.
absolutely right. All right. Well, just as a fun question before I get into all the details of how people can connect with you guys and find your fabulous books, if either of you found a mysterious packet of papers in a dumpsters, would you A, investigate, B, call the police, or C, walk away quietly and pretend you saw nothing?
Well, I would
Uh,
grab it for sure. I'm
yes,
not sure I would call the police.
it would
I'd want
depend on what was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Do you ever dream of being your own amateur sleuth?
Well, I might if I ever had
Daydream.
Daydream?
history thrown in my face, but I've never
Right.
found a body or anything like that. So, like,
No, I actually have called the police before when it's not where I live now, but the complex where I used to live, a couple of people met out actually by the dumpster outside my apartment. One of the vehicles just sat there for the longest time, and I actually went out and got the license plate number
Oh,
and or at least saw what type of license plates it had and called the police and told them, "Hey, this strange vehicle has been sitting outside near my apartment for the longest
yeah.
time, and now there's another car pulling up, and I don't know." At 11 o'clock at night, I don't think it's Facebook Marketplace. So I
no,
don't know
probably
whatever
not.
came of it, but
You were probably wise to do that. Yeah, I could
So
definitely
she
see
would
that.
probably be right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
If she found the packet in the dumpster.
Oh,
I
that's
would want to look it over. I don't know how far I'd take it.
yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. It's been so much fun. I've really enjoyed our time together, and I hope that those who are watching or listening will enjoy just as much as I have getting to visit with the two of you, learn your writing process together, but most importantly, just learn more about your story and how it's going to bring a lot of enjoyment and intrigue to those who read. So thanks so
Thank you for
much.
having us.
Yeah. Well, how can people connect with you?
I have a website that is my name, susanpagedavis.com,
Mhm.
and we're both on Facebook, and I don't know what else page.
My author stuff is under Paige M. Davis. So that's
Yeah,
my author page on Facebook.
Okay.
That's probably the best way right now.
yeah. I think mine's Susan Page Davis author,
Okay.
something like that. Yeah.
Well, I'll be sure to include links to those so people can easily find you
Thank you.
in our description. Yes, of course.
Great.
Yeah. Did you have something else you wanted to say? I thought you were saying something, Susan.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Well, thanks again for joining me. And for those watching, I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And please be sure to follow and connect with these two ladies because I'm sure you will not want to miss what they have coming up in their next two books. And if you haven't already read their first book in the Dumpster Diva series, please make sure you read Down in the Dumpsters. It will not only be fun to read, but it will help you as you continue to read Cassie's story. So if you are enjoying what you're watching or listening to, please make sure to like the ScrivTalk channel. That way, you'll never miss out on any new author interviews where we take you behind the scenes and let you see a little bit about the story behind the story. So, thanks again for watching. And until next time, happy reading. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.